Welcome to Solutions from the Yard, a candid discussion about life behind bars and its effect on society. We'll discuss reintegration or re-entry back into the community post-incarceration. Your host for this episode is Dietrich Trent.
Welcome to Solutions from the Yard. I'm your today's host, Dietrich Trent, and I got my co-hosts, Michael Dickerson-El and Charles Hopkins. How y'all doing, brothers?
Doing great.
Doing great.
Yes. So what's been going on with y'all?
Oh, man, just working hard, man, fighting a good fight.
Fighting a good fight, that's every day. What's up with you, Charles? What's been going on?
Serving the people, and the people in our case is people that's coming out of dismal pits. So we're making sure that the men and women have the opportunity to be able to have a safe footing when they get out by providing them with the services that can help them do that. But more importantly, this organization, Boys for a Second Chance, and under Michael's Dickerson leadership in terms of the when our program services, we're helping them understand the mental capacity of what's going to take mentally. So we're in that space right now, and we're feeling good about it.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. So I could tell y'all what's been going on with me. I received a reward from the Sigmas.
That's right.
Based here in DC for my community impact, me and my co-workers. It was a great award. Went out there, didn't know we was gonna get an award, but we was pressed and we was told we needed to be there. It was, I appreciate it because it let me know that, people see our work, what we're doing in the community and with the impact that we making and those that we affecting through our work. That's so right. It was good though. I had me a good time though, I danced a little bit.
I seen the outfit you had on, because normally you be like, I ain't saying thugging, but you be swagging. But you had your big boy joints.
Yeah.
All that stuff you could.
I had to put a suit on, man.
$1,500 worth of clothes on.
I had to put the suit on that day, man.
Yeah, you look good.
But thank you, man. Thank you, bro. But in the midst of all that, I've been hearing this word. These two words been floating. It's been the best. It's been one of the hottest topics. Everybody's just running. Everybody just keep talking about public safety. Public safety. That's the new thing. Yeah. Public safety, right? Yeah. And we know when one of the things that you do when you're trying to get under underlying vicious demon stuff that's going to hurt the people in the long run, and these laws that don't have anything to really do with the future, but only dealing with the now, right? Mm-hmm. See, they ain't thinking about how these laws going to affect our community 10 or something years ago from now, but they just thinking about the right now. But, public safety. And one of the things that I'm hearing now, they talking about stiffening the penalties for gun offenses. Mm-hmm. One of the things they talking about increasing penalties for retail theft. One of the things they talking about increasing the penalty for transit. Doing things to people on transit, patients, passengers and stuff of that nature, and also people at rec centers. So if you do anything around rec centers and things of that nature, they talking about increasing these penalties. And also, like I said, the possession of a gun also. But with these penalties, right, increasing all these penalties, I want to ask you, brothers, which I'm gonna get into some more, but increasing some of these penalties that I just spoke of, which they already been increased before.
Right, that's right.
Right, so how many times we gonna keep increasing them, and we seeing that's another story. Yeah, that's right. Right, but I want to know. Increasing the penalties for what? I don't see increasing them for what's the end game. I know what. Right, that's right. What's the end game? If we get increasing them, what are we looking to get back as DC citizens? I'm saying if you talk about increasing the penalty, gonna put them in prison more longer. What are we gonna do for the ones that's next in line? That's next in line. That don't see their life in 10 years. So I'm getting it all in right now. Mm-hmm. So what are we gonna do because I'm being honest, real conversation. A lot of our youth, they don't see no future, right? So they live for right now. So how do you feel about these increasing all these penalties, and what do you think can be? What you think about what's the outcome? What are the outcome they could be thinking of when they increasing all these penalties?
But the first question is, you open the door of saying public safety. So is the public going to be more safe? Because this is the intent, okay? But you made a good point about, let's start with who they identifying as the culprit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they saying the youth. But you already identified that the
Yes.
youth they feel hopeless. So now, why do they feel hopeless? Why you ain't investing in them and investing in environments that create this mentality of hopelessness, as opposed to saying that I know I created this mentality of hopelessness by the social conditions I'm allowing y'all to live in. I'm allowing you to live in an environment where poverty below the poverty level. I'm allowing you to live in an environment where you don't. I'm not encouraging your father to be in the house. I'm allowing you to live in an environment where you living in an environment where the school system, in comparison to the other school systems, is not competitive, but yet
it's below. It's below.
Right. So
it's below.
And what you say, you call it
It's
a
below the
daycare.
competitive market.
You call it a daycare, right?
Yes.
So this is in my view, right? They call this what she called this, Addressing Crime Trend Act. The name of this thing that she passed, they trying to get passed is, it's called the Act Now Act.
I just
Act
said,
Now
yeah,
Act.
they acting now, and yes.
Act Now Act. So they saying Addressing Crime Trend
Mm-hmm.
Act. I mean, the Addressing Crime Trend Act, right? But the situation is, as you said earlier, you said that, okay, we didn't revise, we didn't modify, we increase. But what you doing now, you saying that the reason why in D.C., this is D.C.'s posture, they saying that the reason why we have these problems is because of the reforms that was made because of choking out George Floyd.
Right.
And a national outcry against police brutality. So now you saying the act now is to restore the police brutality mentality and to restore the occupation mentality of the police.
Yeah, up in your face mentality.
Right. So now, and saying that if you do something and we got to pretend that we got any understanding you did something, we going to come at you aggressively. But this is the problem that when they hit the George Floyd, the whole movement around that was the reform was that the police was running them up. Now you saying, okay, you got a license to run them up. But I want to read this one quote that came out here. I was just studied, or out this article, a newspaper article said, and this comes from the woman Patricia Sutton of D.C. Justice Lab.
Mm-hmm.
She said, when you restrict the authority of the police, we have the majority coming back saying, hey, we have to do this carefully, she said. But when you restrict the freedoms of people, the general public, under the threat of human caging, there's no opportunity to go back and say, hey, let's make sure we got this right. And when people try to do that, they are met with accusation of being pro-crime and anti-victim. But the issue is, you can't, one, penalize your way out of this.
Right.
Two, you can't create a mechanism where you thinking that the penalties that's going to change. Because all of us been in the prison system where you got all these people. So the only thing you can do is address the social conditions that create the attitude.
And let's be Clinton, but let's be real about this. All these crimes and these new increasing penalties all targeting youth. These are youth hired for vehicle workers, them Uber workers, them Uber drivers, right? The transit people. You know, all the youth get on the metro. You know, they hang at the rec centers. These are all penalties to increase on the youth. They just trying to erase the youth. This is all stuff. This ain't none of this is a react now. What would you think about that, bro?
Well, the key word to me, what Chuck was saying was how you allow things. In order for these bills, from what I see, in order for these bills to come to existence, you gotta have create the condition.
Yeah, come on, Mark.
So when you start allowing something, now you have the Hitler syndrome, where as though create the chaos, then come up with the solution.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start saying the word allow, when I first came home in 2020, I seen things that I ain't never seen. I've been in the game, selling drugs since 1984. And when you ride by all these red light districts, you see guys sitting out in lawn chairs. Holmes, what? I ain't never seen nothing like that before. All the guys that's out there doing illegal activity, you sitting in lawn chairs.
But where they be sitting there, Mike?
Right directly in broad daylight, sitting in lawn chairs. And the police ride right by you. So my whole thing is, what I'm getting at is you allow that. You allow that, then when it spiral out of control, now all of a sudden you come up with all these strenuous acts and laws and restrictions, but you allowed it. See, when I was coming up back in the 70s, the police was around not just to lock you up, they was around for prevention. Officer friendly, the side-by-side band that used to come to the schools and play. They, they promoted certain things, but it was all about prevention, educating, that man, breaking law is wrong, this, that, and the third. So it was all about prevention. It wasn't about, wait for you to break law, then come lock you up. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't about that. See, but that's what you see now. They allowing you to do all this stuff. They allowing you to walk around with ski masks on, and you shouldn't allow nobody to walk around in nobody's place of business, and you walk around with a ski mask on. Because when I was growing up, if you had a ski mask on, you was going to either do something to somebody, or you was going to rob a bank or a grocery store. You didn't just walk around freely, generally, every day, everywhere you go with a ski mask. So now you see all this spike in crime going up, but you allowed all this stuff. You allowed them to have all this leeway in lawlessness, because now you got a rack of youth, they like, shoot, I'm gonna be lawless. They ain't stopping me. I see guys run the stop signs right in front of the police. Police don't even chase them. Back in the day, you couldn't do that.
Yes, and and it's funny that you talked about the ski masks, right? So let me get to some trending news that people in our audience might don't know of, and Brother Charles spoke on it. The Act Now Act of 2023, or Addressing Crime Trends Now Act. So that's what they call it. Would also create new penalties for organized retail theft, allow the police chief to declare certain areas drug-free zones, and reinstate a law that makes it illegal to wear a mask for committing a crime. So it's cool for me to walk into your store with the mask on, but as long as I don't commit a crime. It's cool for me to just, so I don't understand. I'm trying to figure out why is this, if you're not going to ban the mask all the way, why? I'm trying to, man, why? I mean, man, help me with this. Why?
Mike just said it, look, and Mike made a good point. 16th and Good Hope Road. We go down there and serve food. 16th, look, you got
street from Bread from the City and all that.
You got four crews. You got four crews.
UPO?
You got four, now this down by Bread from the City. You got four crews. 4 crews of dudes. You got the bus stop. You got them on lawn chairs right there selling cigarettes. You got on the side of the liquor store, you got them in lawn chairs selling whatever. Up the street on the other corner, you got them in the alley and in lawn chairs up there, and then across the street. Now, mind you, they not working together. They just got a unholy alliance, tentative alliance. Now, I come down that street from a different direction, and you see me coming down, you already watch me. I'm a white dude, or I'm a customer. You say, you get in front of me, stop the car. What's up? What you trying to get? I'm going down and get Tony. What Tony giving you? Tony give me this for this. I'm gonna give you 3 of them for this. Okay. Boom. Now, but the police ride by there every day. What happened to laundering? Is not laundering a misdemeanor? Can't you remove people? So that's what's happening. What's happening is you allowing this, then you like the crying wolf. You like, oh, you done stoked the fire. Now you saying, oh, it's a bad situation for us. We need to act now against something that we created. You created this attitude.
I just don't think the police reform rollback had anything to do with what's going on today.
None of it.
I just hate the fact that they try to blame what's going on, the trends of crime that's going on today, have something to do with the George Floyd police reform rollbacks. I don't think it have anything to do because we had crime before that.
Right.
Exactly. Before George Floyd, what crime was going on before George Floyd got choked out.
Yeah.
And I ain't, and no disrespect to him, rest in power, brother, but crime was going on before that.
Right.
They thought he committed a crime. So crime been going on before that.
That's right, Dietrich.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying let's not blame it on why everything was rolled back. Now that's why everything is out of control. No, why is everything out of control? Because we ain't been paying attention to our society as a whole. We not been paying attention to to our communities, that we ain't been paying attention to the kids and the people that's growing up in these communities, in these neighborhoods. It's been a disservice from the government and from the community. It's no connections no more. And so they don't even know the people that they serving no more. They don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? One of the things I wanted to talk about as well today is I wanted to give a shout out to one of the brothers that he became. You know, he went in as a juvenile and came out and prospered. Now he's the sole director, Xavier off Bay. It's a campaign for fair sentencing for youth. You know, this abrupt, man. This is big news to have one of ours. And I don't want to claiming like he's like one out, but it's big news to see someone that been through that man-made prison and to come home and to be trusted with something of such magnitude, dealing with people's lives and things of this nature. Because the brother put his work in, and he's about his work and he's about the people. And I just want to give him his flowers, man. Let him know, man, that I salute him, man, for having that role as the sole director of campaign for fair sentencing of youth. So one other thing before the strangulation thing, right?
Come on.
Right, I want because I think this is very funny, because when you talk of strangulation, you know, that goes both ways, you know, because people use it for fun reasons and for other reasons. But the thing is, they've been trying to make this a felony since 2015, and it haven't been passed yet, right? But the thing is, they don't want to make it. They don't want to change it because that could be, that open the door up for a lot of things. Mm-hmm. You know that. And I want to say strangulation. If you strangle somebody, so it only applies to what? If the intent, or what are they trying to say with this new strangulation crime that they trying to pass? Because they trying to say that they trying to make it a felony, but people, they saying, no, let's not make this a felony because there's no really, what's the difference from, what's the difference from beating someone and strangulating?
Ain't no difference.
What's the difference? Because both, I mean, if I beat you with my fist to death, I'm going to get a felony, right?
Right, but you brutalizing, I'm brutalizing. Right. Okay, how do I brutalize? I choke you out. I put the L on you. Right. Or I just commence to beating you up, beat you mercilessly. But the problem, the problem that really, this is the problem with this whole thing, is you're pandering to people that was opposed to any reform or anything dealing with changing the attitude of criminal injustice. So you pandering to them, but then you saying all the kids is responsible. But then we go back to what we talked about earlier. Now you saying in the changing the law, now you saying that you want to put in their back that they can chase you. Police can be chased if they think you break law. And it's a car, ran a red light. Yeah, yes. They can go to put that Tesla joint in there, performance speed. They can go to say, look, hit the performance speed button and run your ass down, right? Because now the attitude is everything that we doing is to stop crime and to make people safe. How am I gonna be safe if already the dude stole the car? They in their mind, they like this here. It's a stolen car. I'm running from the police. I'm going to turn this into vehicle manslaughter if anybody get in my way. So I don't care what happened. I don't care. When I turn the corner, if the kids cross me, I run over. Here go the police, but how the police making me safe when they saying, oh, well, I'm going to chase you. And wherever you go, I'm going to go. Wherever corner you turn, I'm going to turn. Yeah. So therefore, everybody on the street got to duck for cover because you saying that this is about stopping auto theft or stopping people that's in vehicular crime. But the problem is this here. You're not doing nothing to deal. You're not doing nothing to change the attitude of people in the community. That's what. Because people in the community want to be safe. You ain't gonna make me believe that nobody in the neighborhood wake up in the morning and say, "Oh, I feel like somebody should blow my brains out today when I go to the grocery store." Yeah. No. I don't think you're gonna get nobody say that, like, I feel like somebody should snatch my pocketbook, or somebody should rape me, or somebody should just come up and knock my brains out and take my shoes. People want to be safe. But they don't look at the police for safety because they know the police is not there for safety. They don't look at the city for safety because they know the city is not there for safety. They need to really look at who is responsible for their safety? And who is responsible for their safety? Themselves.
Yeah, and that's a true build about far as we gotta have accountability to taking control of our safety, right? But the thing is, like Dickerson-El said, if you create something, that's how you get the mass of people. You could play on intimidation of, and you can scare the mass of people with, man, look, it's not safe out here, and it's not this and that. So a lot of things could be done prematurely to hurt us in the long run. That's all I'm saying. Like you said, we don't need to be coming back 25 years say, man, we was wrong for putting these laws in place for something that wasn't nothing but a trend.
Exactly.
You follow what I'm saying? Something that could be gone.
That's not the norm.
You know what I'm saying? I just think that we could do more of it as a solutions for, but I just think that's me personally. What's going on, bro, Dickerson-El?
Well, I looked up the definition for strangle.
Yeah, strangulation.
The definition for strangle is squeeze or constrict the neck of a person or animal, especially so as to cause death.
Yeah.
Then it says, what does strangle someone mean? It says to strangle someone means to kill them by squeezing their throat tightly so that they cannot breathe. And this is the definition on Google. So let me speak on this.
Now, I'm
going to speak on this.
on it.
Now, there is no such thing as a strangulation cause, none of that, because strangle means to kill, so there ain't no right way to strangle nobody.
That's what I'm talking
You know what I'm saying? Because when you doing it, you can cause death. So therefore, how can you put an act or a law or any justification in? It's basically saying it's a certain way you can kill a person.
That's right,
because that's basically what you're saying. What I'm telling you is that strangling can kill you. So how can you make a law to say, well, it's a certain kind of way you got to strangle them to keep from killing them? You know what I'm saying? Strangulation is strangulation. You cut off somebody's air supply to their brain, they gonna go out. Now, if you continue to strangle, then they won't get no air supply to their heart gonna stop. So therefore, the whole point of it is there's no right way to strangle.
Right.
Because you can't turn around and say, well, I got him in the headlock for a certain amount of time, and then, okay, it's according to Robert's rules of law, if I stop at 10 seconds, I ain't gonna kill him. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no right way to do that. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, man, you basically just you revising the law so you can have another way to kill somebody.
That's all.
And I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you brought that up, because one of the laws that Murray Bowser our mayor is trying to get back into law is she trying to take some of the language out of when it comes to officers putting their hands on your neck, right, or the L, the restraint. And one of the things is that she's trying to take out movement. So if you're moving, I can restrain you.
So basically, it's justification to keep the lock on them.
But this was my whole thing, and this was for we got to jump back into this, because you just talked about something. She's trying to put that in, right? But you're trying to make it a felony for the regular citizens.
Yeah.
But you trying to take it out so you can allow the officers to strangle your citizens.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Right, yeah.
We coming back at you from Solutions from the Yard.
Voices for a Second Chance is a comprehensive reentry program that provides culturally appropriate, trauma-informed, gender-specific, and peer-based services. Voices for a Second Chance bridges the gap from incarceration to community for tens of thousands of men and women in the District of Columbia. Our goal is for our clients to achieve a state of well-being and care as they transition from incarceration to community. You can help us continue our mission. For more information or to provide financial support, go to info@vscdc.org or visit www.vscdc.org. You've been listening to Solutions from the Yard. This podcast is presented by Voices for a Second Chance, a comprehensive reentry program that provides culturally appropriate, trauma-informed, gender-specific, and peer-based services. For more information, go to info@vscdc.org or visit our website at www.vscdc.org.